I once had website URLs that were like tabithabear.com/whoisshe and tabithabear.com/writes blog posts. And I will thank the universe for the rest of my natural life that these do not exist anymore. Whew. Today, we're going to be talking about your first website, what it needs, what it doesn't need, and how to avoid the mistakes that I made so you do not have to rewrite every single blog post over again as some sort of digital penance. Hello, my beautiful entrepreneurs. My name is Tabitha Bear, and this is A Hot Mess Builds an Empire. I let you know at the beginning of every episode that I have absolutely no idea what it is that I'm doing, but I'm doing it with the energy of someone who's tripped and is making a career out of the fall. So before we get started, I just want to let you know that Your First Website is part of a Your First series that I am creating for Day One Entrepreneurs. So you will find my playlist where you find playlists on YouTube, and it's going to have things like Your First Hire, which is already out, Your First Website, which is this video, Your First Rate Sheet, Your First Collaboration, Your First Pitch, that kind of stuff. I'm going to have that stuff available to you in this playlist. Chances are some of those videos are out by this point in time, but if you're watching this video the day it came out, well, now you know what's going to be added to the playlist in the next coming weeks. But for now, just sit back and relax and let's talk about your first website. Okay, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations on your first website. This is such a fun and exciting thing. First of all, I actually love creating websites. I think it's a lot of fun to like put them together and just like go kind of like tech crazy with like the hierarchy of pages and stuff like that. And I know that's getting a little more technical than how I'm going to be getting in this video, which by the way, if you're looking on more of the technical aspect of how to build a website, I'm not doing that in this video. If you guys would like to see me do something like that where I create like a dummy website and I show you what it is that I do, let me know in the comments and I will happily do that for you. But for now, this is just kind of talking about what to include in your first website. So I'm giving you that disclaimer now. If this video isn't for you, I apologize. But in the meantime, we are going to be talking about what to include in your first website. So first and foremost, you want to keep it simple. Your first website should not be like this Sistine Chapel complicated mess of things, right? We're not looking for a page for everything, a blog post with 4 words. We're not looking for anything like that. We are looking for it to exist and for it to function, for it to be mobile friendly, readable, findable on the internet. So do not go crazy. I'm letting you know from my own mistake that I did was I would buy like these crazy themes that I thought were just like really, really cool looking. And they were really nice looking, especially for a travel blogger. But they were so complicated. They came with their own block editors, all that kind of stuff. And when I eventually switched to like WordPress's super updated block editor and the Astra Pro theme, which is very customizable and I use it and I love it, I had to, true story, rewrite every single blog post that I have into a new like blog post editor because it didn't transfer over because it was just some random block editor that I could not find anywhere. These themes from like Theme Forest and stuff like that, depending on who it is, like they would just never update them to reflect the latest version of WordPress, the latest version of my plugins, anything like that. My website would go down constantly. So I use something like the Astra Pro because they keep up to date with WordPress and I really don't have to worry about a lot of things now. So I highly recommend that as a theme or using something from WordPress specifically if you use WordPress. You know, they have like a theme that they come out with every year and it's literally the name of the year. So, and they provide that for free. And if you enable one of those themes, they already have the pages. They already have like a pseudo blog post that's like, hi, I'm a blog post, and all you have to do is just go in and change the information and update the color scheme, right? So start simple, stay simple. You can get complicated later down the line, but I will let you know too, like for someone like me who started as a travel blogger and morphed into a travel photographer and then became a folklore, mythical stuff storyteller, podcaster, owning a multimedia studio, I had no idea that I would turn into what it is that I am now. And if I would have known what it was that I was going to be doing, I would have I would have not done like the thousands of things that I did with my website at the start. So please start simple, because you may not know what you're growing into 5 years down the line, and you will thank me that your website started simple, because it's just so much easier to build off of that. Okay, let's talk about the pages that you need. First of all, homepage, which is for me, tabithabear.com. That is my homepage. You click on it or type it in, and you will find my homepage. There are some things about like my products and services. You can go to my blog. You can go to the About Me. There's just like a couple of things that redirect you, like, hey, if you want to learn more about me, go here. If you want to work with me, go here. If you want to read my blog, go here. It's just very quick little like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. Next, you need an about page. Now, this could be about you, about your company, about you and your company. This could be like, I know some people start with a team. I would recommend doing an about your company and then a separate page that's about the team, and then have your little blurbs about everybody there. When it comes to the like homepage and the about me, like the copy through your whole website, let your personality shine. Let the voice of your brand shine through, the voice of your company, whatever. Like, let that copy show the personality of what it is that you want people to get a feel for. Like if you're a profession, academic, if you're like casual and spunky and cheeky, let people see that side of you in the copy that you have on your website. And your About Me page does not have to be the equivalent of War and Peace, but don't be afraid to put some details in there. You know, I love reading an introduction in a book. I love reading About Me pages online. And the reason is because I love learning about people's origin stories. I love learning about where they started from, how they're thriving now. It's really cool to also see like somebody's like life story in the terms of like, I started this in 2017, and it started as something I was doing while I had a full-time job, and then I met my husband on a trip, and now we do this together. So this is both of us running this website and this company, and it's just really cool to see like somebody's life in sort of like this, 4 paragraphs worth of information. I think it's very wholesome. So just don't be afraid to share that with people. Show the authenticity of what it is that's going on with your company or you. Okay, next we have a contact page. This can go a couple of different ways. You can use like an embedded form that will get forwarded to an email address of yours. You can also just put links there for like, if you want to get in contact with me, find me on Instagram, that kind of thing. Um, I know for physical businesses, like if you're running like a mom and pop shop downtown kind of thing, I know this can be a little bit different in terms of like physical addresses, phone numbers, that kind of thing. But what I would say be on the side of caution about is putting an email address online. Myself and other bloggers for the longest time were getting hit with AI comment bots. So I do not have comments on my blog anymore. And AI like robots crawling through, picking your website or your email address out through your website and just spamming your email with stuff. So if you are going to put your email address, I would recommend writing it out in words. Like, this is my email at address.com. And I would write like dot.com, right? So that's just like something that's happened to me in the past. It's happened to other bloggers in the past when we would share like hey, you can email me at info@tabithabear.com, which that doesn't exist, so don't use that. But you know what I mean? Like I would put something like that online and I super regret it, and just looking out for you there. The last thing is a blog page. This is for if you are starting a blog. You do not need to have a blog. But if you are someone who is interested in starting a blog, I have a couple recommendations for you. First of all, have a blog page where your blog posts can live. And then before your website goes live, I would have somewhere between 5 to 10 blog posts ready to go for when your website does go live. Because if you want to be a blogger, you want people to read stuff, right? Like you can't just launch a website and be like, I'm a blogger, here's my blog, enjoy it, and then have no blog posts. You will lose people really quick. They'll be like, oh, there's no blog here. And they won't know how long your website's been up, right? So if you are starting a blog, 5 to 10 blog posts ready to go, and just have them published with your site going live. So let's talk about different platforms you can use for your blog. I host through Bluehost, and then they use WordPress. There are also things like Squarespace and Wix, which are usually pretty user friendly, and they have like drag and drop options for you to customize your web pages. I like WordPress because I've just been using it since basically it came to be, right? I've had multiple websites that I started. Oh my God, I just had like a memory of some website that I had, and take me back. Okay, so I used to have websites through WordPress.com, and I would have like blogs about things like movies and stuff like that. And it's just one of I'm thinking about that blog with the movies. Oh my God, that's so I've forgotten about that for years. It's so crazy. I'm just gonna whoosh getting hit with the memories. But I did those through WordPress.com. So I'm so familiar and comfortable with WordPress and where the settings are and how it works and what I need to do with it, that I love using it at this point in time. It's become my partner in crime with my website. And they also provide free themes to use. They're usually named after the year. Um, and they're just very easy to use. They're mobile friendly, they're desktop friendly, they're tablet friendly, they're clean, they're readable, they're functional, and they may not be the prettiest thing, but you can customize them a little bit in terms of like if you have a color scheme you're going for or whatever. So you can customize them a bit, just not like anything crazy. But like I said, I would recommend keeping it simple first, and then just kind of see what functionalities you need moving forward. And then from there, you can figure out like how you want to proceed changing your website. And one of the best pieces of advice that was ever given to me was to buy the domain name the second I have the idea. It doesn't matter if it's not launching for a year, 5 years, whatever, buy the domain name. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this is I went to buy worldherstory.com, and there are people out there who buy like hundreds to thousands of random domain names and just sit on them and try to sell them to you. They're not using them. They have no domain authority, which is domain authority is on a scale of 1 to 100. And basically, the higher the number, the higher you would rank on Google searches, the more interconnected you are, the more people who visit your website, like that kind of thing. So, but these would have no domain authority. It would be a 1. And I couldn't get World Her Story for years. It was $2,000. People were sitting on this website and not even using it. And if you visited worldherstory.com, it would say things like you could buy it here, or we're hosting it through Big Daddy and you could buy it here, like that kind of stuff. So I ended up using worldherstorypodcast.com. And then a couple years ago, worldherstory.com expired from whoever was holding on to it, and I snagged that bitch. So very happy to say worldherstory.com is mine. It's not live yet, so don't visit it. But it's just one of those things. If you have the idea, even if you are doing nothing with that idea today, this very moment in time, buy the domain. It's like $10 to buy the domain and own it per year. And if you buy it for multiple years in a shot, it's usually cheaper because they like bundle it. And if you go through something, and I talk about Bluehost and WordPress a lot because that's what I use, but if you were to go through Bluehost and get like a plan with them, you can own somewhere between like 50 to 100 to 150 domains. So it's not like you only get like 5 domains and then that's it. You can buy multiple domains and sit on them. For yourself, for your business, not for you to hoard them and try and sell them to people. Don't do that. That's really mean. For this next section, I actually did research to give you information that would be helpful for you to understand how mobile friendly is vital. As of July 2025, 60.5% of searches were through a mobile device. Um, I mean, that's huge because in 2016, it was like, I think half of that. And then also in July of 2025, desktop searches were about 39.5%. So it is crucial that your website is mobile friendly. When I talk about keeping it simple and keeping it mobile friendly, you want it to load on a phone. You want people to be able to read it. You want people to be able to get to it. You don't want a million pop-ups coming up, right? Like if I can't navigate your website in like 3 seconds on my phone, I leave it. So just keep that in mind. It's very important to keep it mobile friendly. There's plenty of information out there to show how many mobile devices are going to be visiting your website. Like if you connect to Google Analytics and stuff like that, it shows you what devices people are using to get to your website. And I think for me, it's like 80% of the people visiting my website are using mobile devices. So, I mean, that's just for me. It will be different from person to person, of course, but 60.5% for websites in 2025 were from a mobile device. So, I mean, that's like significantly huge. Please make sure your website is mobile friendly. Okay, so this is one piece of technical information that I think is very important for you. Loading speeds and images. If your website doesn't load within like a certain amount of milliseconds, it tanks the SEO like rating on a plugin called Yoast. Um, also, like if your images are high res images, like I took this with my Sony camera that's 63 megapixels and I uploaded the image raw. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can use something like tiny PNG, or you can use like if you end up using WordPress, WordPress has a image optimizer where it will compress images for you and save you not only lots of space for your host in terms of like how many, gigabytes and megabytes you're uploading into the library of who you're hosting with, but also the smaller the image, the quicker it loads. And a lot of these optimization tools will not compromise the quality of the image. They will still make it a very, very good image. It won't be all pixelated and crazy. It will load quickly on your website and people won't leave it as fast. Um like if it takes forever for an image to load, or I get the little question mark box because like it was so big it just didn't load in time and Google was like, "Well, here's the words, but the image is just way too big." It it literally impacts the user experience of your website and they will leave. So just keep that in mind. You want to worry about loading times, you want to worry about the speed of your website, and you want to worry about how big your images are that you're uploading it. You want to avoid excessive pop-ups. I know it's very tempting to try and throw Google AdSense in there real quick and just like, I want to make so much money on my blog and just like crank up everything from Google AdSense or other versions with other companies. But it is so annoying for a user to get through your blog when there are so many pop-ups and so many things loading as you scroll that it moves the copy around and it makes it what could be a mobile friendly website because you're using a good theme to a not mobile friendly experience because of all the pop-ups and all the ads and everything that you have in there. So I just truly recommend keeping it simple. Don't go crazy. Don't try to add like all these things in there because people will just get really infuriated with your website and they will leave it. The next section I want to talk about is a call to action per page. I do think this is important for when you are first starting a website in the sense of If you only have a few pages that you're starting with, you want every page to have like the book a call with me. Here's our inventory, buy our inventory, sign up for our newsletter, find us on social media. Like whatever it is that is the most important thing to you right now should be on every single page. Your about page, your contact me page, your home page, everything should lead to that call to action. Now, as time goes on, you can probably start to modify what it is that you're doing with your call to action. Maybe it doesn't need to be so aggressive, but when you're trying to say, like, okay, I have the website, but it's literally just so I can exist on the internet and be found through Google, other than Instagram helping you get found through Google now. But if you want that website to lead people to your, oh, I hit the microphone, it's an episode. If you want people to just find you on Instagram and talk to you on Instagram and buy from your Instagram shop and follow you on Instagram and you're very Instagram heavy, that's totally fine. There's no judgment with that. But then let that be your call to action. Find us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Like if you message us on Instagram, you can get 10% off. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So make sure your call to action is clear. Make sure your call to action makes sense for what it is that you want. Don't just be like, book a call with me, and then you don't actually do discovery calls or coaching calls or whatever. Lead it to like one thing and just keep it simple. Like, don't hound people with like a bunch of different things. The other thing you want on every website is to be answering some type of question. What is your company about? About page. How can I get in touch with you? Contact page. What information can you help me with? Blog page, homepage. You know what I mean? Like, every single page should be answering at least one question. Hey, this is what we do. This is what we offer. These are the pain points that we do. This is about us. That's your about page, right? Like you want to be answering questions, even though you're going to be sharing your story on that page and, getting cheeky or sassy or letting people see your personality. Answer questions that would be helpful to your users because you'll get more click throughs that way through your website. You'll get more contacts and followers that way. So just be cognizant of that as you create and you write your copy. If driving traffic to your website is a big deal, and this is a big deal for bloggers, if driving traffic to your website is really very important to you, then I would say to start, don't go to things like Linktree or Stan Store for using links and stuff like that, or there's some type of bio site out there. Just create an additional page that is, yourwebsite.com/links and have your links to your newsletter on there, your social media accounts, your active social media accounts, where people can find you, your products and services, everything like that. Because when you use that as your link in bio in your social media accounts, that's going to get more traffic. It's going to cause people to click through your website to give you more traffic and drive more of that. When you use Linktree and Stan Store, that goes to those companies. Now, I have a Stan Store. I love my Stan Store, but also my website does very well on its own. So I'm not worried about that. And I'm not as heavy into blogging as I was years ago. So people still find my blog. It still finds its people, which is amazing. But also, that's not my top one priority when it comes to my website. So I use my Stan Store for that. But this comes down to personal preference. This is not, you should do this if you're a blogger, or you shouldn't do that if you're not a blogger. This is personal preference. This is what's important to you and what you want to prioritize. But I would say that is an option for you. So just keep that in mind as you create your pages. If you want to create a link tree, go for it. It's free. The customization options aren't as like hefty if you haven't purchased it, but it's still very user friendly. It's still easy to use. You can throw it in your bio. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying anything against Linktree. I have Linktree. But if traffic is a huge priority for you, especially when you're starting out and to get people to visit your website, create a links page and do it that way. Another technical thing, kind of, even if you only have a couple pages on your website, SEO is still just so very important so that you can get crawled through and be found on like Bing and Google and all that jazz. Like whatever search engine is that you use, to each their own, but you want your website to be found. That's why you're creating a website, is for people to find you. So SEO and using something like Yoast, Yoast, so like toast but with a Y, Yoast. Now that comes with the WordPress now through Bluehost. It's just so good. It started off as like a really good plugin. It was like its own individual plugin, and I think it's partnered with WordPress now or owned by WordPress now. I could just be making it up, but it's now like an automatic thing that is in my list of automatic plugins when you start a new website. Yoast is there, and it's just so good. It's free. There is a paid version, of course, but it just tells you everything it is that you need for your page or your blog post to be successful and to be crawled through. So it will help you with how many times your SEO keyword is on the page or the blog post, how long the page or blog post needs to be, your meta description, which is the description that shows up on Google. So if you were to search for, like today I was searching for eye-shaped mirrors. If you were to search for eye-shaped mirrors and it pulls up websites for you, it'll be like the link and it'll be like, you know, eye-shaped mirror with this thing, like what that description is, that's your meta description. So it will help you with how long that needs to be, and it will show you the preview of what it looks like on a Google search. It will show you the preview of having an image on that page. You can download things that help you with getting on Pinterest and all that stuff. So please utilize a plugin like Yoast. I highly recommend Yoast, but there's things like SEO Math or Rank Math or something like that. I did try that. It was a little clunky to me. I tried it when it first came out, but I just love Yoast so much I went right back to it. But that again, personal preference. But there are plugins out there that can help you to be found on the internet, that can help you set up what the URL reads. Keep it simple. Don't put crazy stuff in your URL like I used to do. But, you know, use that to your advantage. Let that help you be successful right from the beginning. I guarantee you will just have such an easier time of it by utilizing a plugin like Yoast that will help you go like, hey, this isn't long enough. You should write like 100 more words because then Google will favor that. Or this SEO keyword is used a lot. Use this SEO keyword. Um, or like, your meta description is way too long and it's going to get cut off, and you need internal links. So you need to link internally between the different pages on your website, and you need external links to connect to other websites so you can get crawled through on the internet, right? There's like all these things that go into SEO, and it changes constantly. And Yoast is up to date on that all the time. They're always updating, they always know what's going on. And there are other videos that I've talked about where, like, I really hate doing SEO on my website. Like, when I open up my page and Yoast is like, you have 5 blog posts that need improvement. And I'm like, oh, I just wanted to check something real quick. So if you're looking at blogging, Yoast is going to be your best friend. It's going to keep your blog in top-notch, very findable um, parameters. So I truly recommend Yoast, and I truly recommend looking into doing SEO correctly on your website from the get-go. It's just a game changer to do it correctly, because your website then gets crawled quickly, indexed quickly. Your Google Analytics will be very helpful in this situation, and it's just overall very helpful to have some type of focus on that. Again, a lot of information about SEO, and it changes all the time, and it changed kind of in a funny way with AI crawling through stuff now. So just be aware that not everybody knows everything, and it is going to change. So I apologize in advance for you for any frustrations that SEO cause you, but please do not think that you have to sit and spend like 3 weeks studying SEO and memorize it by heart, when there are plugins that just know it for you and you just follow the bullet list and then you're good. So don't overthink that, but just know it is important. So there are a couple of, like, not glamorous things. They're pretty boring, but they're pretty important to have. And that's a privacy policy and like a terms page. Um, this is really important if you're using affiliate links, if you're selling something, if you're collecting emails. It's important to have this stuff to let people know you're not selling their information, that you're only getting a kickback as like a finder's fee for affiliate links. It's not sponsored like blog posts or whatever, like it's just an affiliate link. Um, this is necessary to have. And I just have it in my footers. Like I don't have it as part of the main menu. I don't have it as a main page or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. Most of the time, privacy policy pages are usually like already done for you, or you can find like quick stuff to use for your privacy policy through a Google search. Um, I would keep, don't, if you want to get very creative with it, go ahead, but I would not waste your time. I would just keep it very straightforward so that it's just easier while you're creating your website, that you're not sitting there, how should I word this? Just use something standard that's out there. That's just like, hey, I'm not selling your information. Another boring thing is please make sure your website is updated on the regular. There are a couple of reasons why. First of all, as long as it's updated, you're up to date with like the theme being up to date and being functional and giving a good user experience for whoever visits your website. Your plugins are up to date. Your plugins help with like it could be something like SiteKit, which is hosted by Google and it gives you your Google Analytics, or something like Yoast. Everything should be up to date so that it's working with your theme. It's up to date with all the information that it is that you need for your website. And from a security aspect, if your website is not up to date with plugins and the theme and whatever else it needs to be updated with, it can easily get hacked. And that only gets easier and easier. So if people know that a patch on a plugin is bad, if it hasn't been updated in a certain amount of time, they will try to hack websites through it. So just please, please, please make sure your stuff is up to date. It provides a really good user experience and it's really good from a security aspect. So, not trying to scare you. Um, nobody's tried to hack my website before, and please, for the love of God, don't try. Please don't do that to me. Um, but like just from a security aspect, just make sure your stuff is up to date and you'll be totally fine. Before I end this episode, I just want to let you guys know that Hot Mess Triage is open. My calendar is open, and this is at the request of you. So I received some DMs on LinkedIn and some DMs on Instagram asking if I would consider opening up my calendar to be a business coach for day one entrepreneurs. And I'm happy to say and shocked to say that after hemming and hawing about it, I decided to do it. And you can find the link to book a call with me in my YouTube description of this video. And I'm just really excited to learn about your business and how I can help you. If you're looking for some clarity, or if you're looking for like a 30-day focus plan, we can work on what it is that you need specifically for your business. So I highly recommend working with me because I'm a lot of fun and I have decent information from owning my own business for the last 10 years. So I hope to see you there. Just to wrap this episode up, your first website is going to be amazing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to exist and it needs to be functional and it needs to be clean and easy to read and mobile friendly and doesn't take forever to load. Okay. Okay. If you found this video helpful, please like it, please subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.